You're a bunch of bastards, man. I hate you all. Alright, wow. Okay, so where do I start? This is like my second time doing comedy on mushrooms. This is really weird, yeah. The first time was actually last time, surprisingly. So this is kind of weird. If I kind of like trail off, I'm thinking about something like mind-bending, so if I just go, don't mind, I'll pick it back. I'll pick it back up. It's cool. It's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I tend to drop a lot of personal shit when I'm tripping. Just like, yeah, I'm gonna drop some personal knowledge bombs on you. Just getting it out there like a bag of cats off a bridge. I don't know a better metaphor for that. Just open hand, clear conscience. Nobody gives a fuck. I have a lot of strong beliefs. They're not particularly like religious beliefs. I just think, we should all get along as a species, as a culture. We don't need things like war. We could solve problems like famine. I was raised Catholic for a long time, and I didn't really stick with it. It just didn't resonate with me. Oh, sorry. Is that? You know what? That was totally like unconscious. I wasn't even realizing I was doing that, but thank you for that. But I just wasn't really, my heart wasn't into it, and I just didn't like vibe with a lot of the things that that they're all about. And more than anything, I was just sick and tired of getting fucked in the mouth all the time. Like, are you like? Does anybody else have this? Was I the only one? Okay, all right. Seriously, just 70% of my problems started and began with, "Hey, Father, I read this passage about Leviticus, and what are you doing? And then the other 30% are just moral disagreements, so it's, shit happens. I mean, it's not for everybody, clearly. That's ridiculous. But at the same time, it's kind of, I don't know. Depending on where you live, it tends to really get at you. I know when you're in like the boonies and like the Bible Belt, it's like really out there and just like, it's so ubiquitous with just the areas that you live in. It's just ingrained in the culture like Christianity. And I kind of enjoy, probably the only reason I enjoy living here on the Western Slope is that I have this weird paranoid fear that I'll just wake up one day and I'm like, the sun's shining. Why isn't there like just a big mushroom cloud in the distance, like just over the mountains? Nobody's, there's no air raid sirens going on. I seriously wake up like every day like that. And I know it's not going to happen here, because this isn't like LA, this isn't a major metropolitan area where that would make sense. Like, ISIS and Al-Qaeda and like North Korea, the world's largest cult nation with the world's smallest average of penis size. Who would have thought that they'd be angry enough to want to nuke us? Well, you know what? They're not sending an ICBM down to Grand Junction to stop the fucking Palisade Peach Festival. So that's why I enjoy living here so much. There's no one, there's no one dropping the sarin gas off at the Greyhound bus. Oh no, they killed like 8 homeless people. Holy shit. What a huge fucking national tragedy. That's not happening here. And even if they did, they'd be like, what? Oh, Ahmed is gonna come down and bomb what? Charlie Dwellingtons? Are they gonna stop Flip Night? Oh, damn. You're never gonna hear, oh no, they're beheading people at the Walmart, which, I mean, has its pros and cons to me, but, I mean, that's just more my beliefs, but that's just what I'm trying to get across, is that it's just not gonna happen. It's not really an issue in my life, which is nice. Religion never really answered the big questions for me. Like, it's never been a big... Like science, I will give science all the credit in the world. I'm a huge fan of science, but science actually tries to give an explanation for the way things work. Like, why is the sky blue? Well, it's just light refracting off of molecules in the atmosphere, and this and that. You talk to somebody, some Bible thumper, it's like, because the Bible. Obviously, why can't gays get married? Because the Bible. Why don't you guys believe those dinosaur bones are millions of years old? Because the Bible. How many times do we need to fucking say it? But science doesn't solve everything. A lot of problems that we have today are really just in like this weird political and philosophical spectrum. Like, why aren't we putting more money into renewable energy? Why aren't we fueling things like, or funding things like, geothermal and solar and wind, renewable resources that are going to help us 50 years down the road? Or, why don't we have traffic lights that count down when they're going to fucking change the fucking light so you don't freak out as soon as you hit a yellow and it's like, oh shit, I gotta go, and then traffic accidents. They have them in Europe, why don't we have them here? But I think the biggest question that I've had recently is why has there not been some kind of machine invented yet to tell the difference between beard hair and pubes? Because I would pay top dollar for this, and let me explain why. I get really anxious at restaurants, and just anxious enough to where, like, I'm a typical beard scratcher. If you own a beard, you know it. And you'll get that shit in your food, like, all the time. But it's like, it's my beard hair. Oh, it's my beard. I'm gonna get over it, because it's mine. It came out of my face. It's mine. I know where it came from. Whatever. Just fucking eat around it. But if I just really need something minus all the crime lab to know whether or not I tipped my waiter enough last time at bin 707 so my plate doesn't come back and this guy saw me like, is that motherfucker with the cats and dogs scrub top? I remember him. No, give me that fucking burger plate. I'm gonna show him what treating, talking about murdering cats and dogs is all about. We're not gonna make jokes about that anymore. No sir. He'll fucking learn his lesson. Hopefully the only future time that I get pubes in my mouth is when I'm going down on somebody. That's what I'm really all about. Whether it's like a chick or a dude, I guess I'll leave that open. It's fascinating to me how everybody thinks of sexuality as like this weird, just rigid, black or white thing, when it's really all just contextual. Yeah, I see you're like, no, I'm straight, I'm a straight man, I only fuck chicks, that's fine. My track record says I'm straight. What does the future have in store? For example, what if you go to prison tomorrow for, say, did you try to blow up the World Trade Center again? Who fucking knows? And they go and they take you to court and they have all this evidence against you, and then like one of the key witnesses was like hooked on crack the entire trial, so they had to throw out a big portion of the case, but you still ended up getting like 10 to 15 years. 10 to 15 years in prison is long enough that you would think, maybe, I would like to know what it's like to cram my John Thomas inside a wormhole again. You know what I mean? Maybe. Is it really all that different? And if you just cover your eyes and do this and just go at it, is it really that much different for 10 to 15 years? Because conjugal visits are pretty rare, dude. Let's go out. Let's fucking do this. This is all just like my weird indirect way of hitting on you, so just so you know. Oh goodness, this went off the rails really quick. I know God has a sick sense of humor, and you don't really have to look at all the famine and natural disasters and just war and plagues and things like that to really get it. You don't have to look at all the ills of the world to see it. You just have to look at us. Just look at men and women. Oh, and look at this guy right here. Apparently this guy's Adolf Jr., but I'm not gonna, he's just pointing himself out. But why is it that I think of like, I guess mammals in general, why do we reproduce the way we do? Have you ever really thought about that? God totally could have just made it that we could just like split like cells and it would be like virtually painless, I guess, and we just have copies of each other and be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? No, we had to have the strangest, weirdest way of shitting out another organism from ourselves that's completely new and completely unique. Imagine being the woman born, like the only woman in the world apparently, that didn't know what pregnancy was. Like imagine you, I'm pointing you out right now. Imagine you didn't know what pregnancy was at all. Nobody told you, and you just never found out. You never had that talk with your parents, and just, yeah, you just never discovered it, and we're just all in on the joke. We're like, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be really good. Let's say you went home with this guy over here for whatever reason. I'm not saying you did. Shut the fuck up. You're doing it. Let's just say you went home with him and he goofed in you and he doesn't believe in condoms, so yeah, you goofed. Yeah, right? It sounds like you. And just that weird ejaculatory message, and you end up getting pregnant, but you don't realize it. You just have the nausea and the missed period, and you're like, oh shit, I better go to the doctor, see what's up. That doesn't usually happen to me. And then you go, and they're all in on the joke too. They're like, no, it just must be the flu. I don't know what's going on. Stupid. And you just go about your day, and you don't know why your stomach's growing in size. You don't know why you're getting all these weird swollen ankles, and why you're craving like pickles and Los J's all the time. Yeah. Los J's, because it's never too early for your day to be over, right? Yeah. And then that climax, that 9-month period where you think it's not going to end, and your stomach's about to burst, out of nowhere, you're working a long shift, and where do you work? At Olive Garden, and your pussy just starts on fire, and it's just like, ah! And you look down, and you button your pants. You gotta button your pants, I'm assuming you have pants on at the work. And you look down, and there's a baby coming out of you, and you have no idea why, and you're just like, ah, fuck! What would you do? Yeah, the miracle of life. I don't know what to tell you. The aliens, the chest bursters from Alien weren't even that bad. They gave you the courtesy of coming out this way, not out of your genitals. That's how I know God has a great sense of humor, because that's really him just nudging Eve, being like, shouldn't have fucked with that tree now, huh? Yeah, got you good, fucker. Thank you guys very much. My name's Goku.